This episode of MMA Nuts is brought to you by Freshly, chef-cooked healthy meals delivered to your door. Save $20 off the 6-meal plan for first-time users with code MMA639. J&P Cycles, the best aftermarket parts and accessories for your motorcycle. Save up to 30% off with code MMAN. Butcher Box, get grass-fed meats delivered to your house. Get $10 off with code MMA Nuts. Protect-A-Bed, shield your mattress and pillows from allergens, dust mites, and moisture. Save 20% off with code MMA Nuts. Defense Soap, the ultimate soap for wrestlers, jiu-jitsu, and MMA athletes with the new peppermint oil bars and shower gel. Use code MMA Nuts for 15% off. Hey fans, it's MMA Nuts, episode 350!
350!
My name's Ingo Weigel.
Back with the MMA show, by my fans, for my fans, we'll walk the line between serious and ridiculous. What's going on?
Well, we've had a weekend of fighting.
That's right.
Have we not?
That's right. Blowing it out.
Yep. So you especially have seen quite a lot of stand-up fighting in the last 2 days.
Yeah.
So Glory was in town.
We saw Glory. Thank you for inviting us out.
It was a good show.
Good times.
You know, it's kickboxing's definitely got its thing about it. It's a little more exciting at times than MMA.
Some of the fights, it seemed when you had a good country, Poland. Ah!
Yes.
Romania. Ah!
Yeah. People going crazy.
Two guys who don't know. Cricket.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Yes. Still not clear on some of the scoring and how they judged.
The judging was terrible.
It seemed horrible. So, but that being all said, we did have a small boxing event that happened on Saturday night. You know, between an Irishman and a dude from Las Vegas. Maybe you'd like to discuss this.
Conor McGregor, Floyd Mayweather.
Yes.
So let's start at the weigh-ins. Floyd Mayweather. He's in at a svelte 149.
Mm-hmm.
Conor McGregor 153.
Mm-hmm.
Conor McGregor steps in the ring 170 plus.
Yes. What about Floyd?
I think he's right around that same weight.
150, huh?
Yeah. And I thought it was cool. I like to see the guys when they get their hands wrapped. And Jesus Christ, with the wraps that Mayweather was getting, it looked like 10 inches of wrap on each one of his hands. Mm-hmm. Like,
is there a rule to that? How much?
I don't know. But I know he said he didn't spar like the whole month because he wanted to save his hands for the fight. So that's why when you're watching all these embeddeds and whatever behind the scenes shit, all access on Showtime, it's never any training footage. It was always him, I'm fucking roller skating. It's me at my titty bar or whatever.
Interesting.
So,
so how did he train for this fight?
I don't know. Whacking off. Lots of whacking off.
Shaved his hands.
Yeah.
Huh.
But I like the McGregor in the suit getting his hand wrapped. That looked cool. I like the way his corner looked. Mm-hmm. They're all wearing like the vest,
like the barber, old school barber style. Yeah.
And yeah, the rolled up sleeves with like a thing on the side, and
he looked good.
Hell yeah. And then the weird thing was they had no walkout music for either guy. They just blitz out to the ring, and we do the national anthem, the Irish, the English, the U.S. Demi Lovato sounded like shit. I didn't care for her rendition of the fucking
Do you think that was
anthem.
due to the pay-per-view glitches and stuff, that they were short on time and they just wanted to
Well, they had to actually push the start of the fight back a little bit because of all the people buying it and crashed servers. A lot of people couldn't see it. Some people saw 6 rounds and the fucking thing cut out.
Yep.
Pretty sure that happened to me. I'm pretty sure I'm going to need to get my money refunded.
Yeah, there's a lot of UFC TV grumblings out there.
Oh, yeah.
That shit apparently crashed. And Showtime was able to, like the Showtime app, I guess, was working okay. But a lot of the cable stations were having problems. And this leads me to ask you this question.
Yeah.
Do you think we're still on the point here for like 6 million?
We're over. I'm going to stick to 7 to 8 million for this. And Conor McGregor was saying if it does better than the Pacquiao Mayweather fight, that he's guaranteed 100 million, and it's over that. They said they broke the record for the gate. I want to say they did like 80 million at the gate.
Wow.
But McGregor's gonna gets a chunk of everything. Of course. That's what he was saying. Because after the fight, he's saying he gets the gate, he gets a chunk of the gate, chunk of the pay-per-view, chunk of the merchandise, and chunk of sponsorship.
Wow.
So he's getting a chunk of everything.
Yeah.
So, because I think the disclosed pay, I want to say, the guy from ESPN put it out that Conor McGregor was getting 30 million, and I don't know if Floyd was anywhere from 70 to 100. That's just disclosed. But then you get all that back end money. Mm-hmm. So that guy's making bank.
Heck yeah.
And then just talk about the fight. I mean, overall, I thought it was a fun fight and entertaining, and more so than I thought it would be.
Really?
Because with, you know, you hear about some of the Mayweather fights, you're like, oh my God, this was fucking horse shit. Like the Pacquiao fight. I don't think anybody was happy with that fight.
No.
And I think that here's a fight where I don't think it was Conor having a good performance. I think it was Mayweather letting him have the good performance.
Seems like.
Because Mayweather just basically took 3 rounds to walk forward, hands up, let that motherfucker shoot his load, and then I'm going to come after you.
There was a point, we just watched a little bit, allegedly.
No, I have it recorded here. I bought it.
And in the 4th round, there was a point where he smiles over at one of the announcers, and then he starts pouring it on a little bit. I wonder if that was the moment where he's like, all right, now I'm going to start boxing.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, you could see it in the corner after each round. You know, Conor's getting, he's confident after the first 2 rounds, but he's starting to breathe heavy. You look at Mayweather between every round, nothing. Just, I don't even think he broke a sweat. Like,
No,
you said that by the end of the fight, he's not even sweating.
Do you think he was hanging out with the Diaz brothers and got a little advice from the Diaz brothers on how to run through the McGregor, you know, his train kind of?
He's smart.
Let him wear himself out a little bit.
Yeah.
But you know, the thing about this fight too is when is Conor going to be able to fix his cardio issue? I mean, this is a reoccurring problem. Like he gets tired, he gets tired, he gets tired. When is he going to stop getting tired?
Well, I don't know if he can. Maybe it's just the way he is genetically made up. Because I thought he had it fixed. You know, he had that issue when he fought Nate Diaz the first time, right? He said, "Fuck, I wasn't efficient in my strikes." He tried to blow everything out in that first round and ends up getting submitted. And the second time around, he did a little bit better, but still had a cardio issue.
He had the dip about the same time. It was like 3rd round, right? Something like that. At middle to end of 3rd round, he had that dip again. It's weird. Like maybe he's got some kind of mental block, or it's just something about his body style.
Well, he said the same thing was happening in training for this. Like he was good for 4 rounds, 4 or 5 rounds, and then he would dip like 6, 7, 8, 9, and then he said at like 10, 11, 12 he would come back because he could see the end of the fight. But when he's in that middle range, he's like, "Fuck, I've got so many more rounds to go. He can't see an end."
I see. So it is a mental thing.
It is mental.
It's a mental thing.
But I think there's some physical to that too.
Well, so obviously Floyd TKO'd him. I think both of us had discussed this from before we started taping. I think they could have let it go.
It's an early stoppage in my book.
For sure.
You've got to, especially with a fight of this magnitude, I feel like you got to let the guy get knocked out.
Yeah.
If you're going to talk all this shit like, "Oh, I'm going to knock out Mayweather inside of 4 rounds, inside of 1 round," and he's getting rocked, you let him get knocked out.
Okay.
That's how I see it.
Let him get finished.
That was MMA. He's getting knocked the fuck out, period.
It looked to me like a TKO of fatigue, not of damage, honestly. I mean, he just looked tired, like exhausted, tired. And, you know, in MMA, you can crawl, you can curl, you can clinch, you can, you know, play a little jiu-jitsu off your back or whatever, side control. And boxing, you got nowhere to go, especially if Mayweather just keeps moving forward, moving forward,
forward pressure,
nonstop. Even when the ref would break him up, as soon as they moved Mayweather's back again, boom. There was one point, I think Conor even smacked him when he was coming forward, when the ref was still between him.
Yeah, well, he wants to make sure he's keeping his space and protecting himself at all times, regardless of the ref being there or not. And how about all the illegal shit that Conor was doing? How many hammer fists did he throw?
Floyd threw some knees, elbows too. There was elbows. There was
there were some low
crossface
blows,
stuff going on, you know.
But you know, the ref did a great job of not taking points away and keeping the flow of the fight going. So it wasn't like whatever Conor got away with, Floyd got away with some shit. So it kind of balanced out, and I didn't feel it was anything you needed to take a point away from.
No.
But just weird, because he's like, "Oh, you're not looking, I got you clinched. Hammer fist, hammer fist, hammer fist." And I don't know how many times Conor was trying to take his back. I don't understand this strategy. We're not in MMA.
Yeah.
You can't do anything from the back, and every time he went to the back, they would break it up.
Yeah.
And there are also points where Floyd is giving up his back so that they'll get a break. So it was just, it was entertaining for sure.
Yeah, there was like a technical stuff going on inside of the fight that was, you know, all like weirdly, you know, almost like scripted and planned on Mayweather's part, trying to lure Conor, and Conor, maybe Conor was trying to do the same thing, keep it dirty, keep it a little bit less, you know. But that fatigue, that's tough, man, when you run. But, you know, if you guys get a chance, look up the interview with Megan O'Leary by Conor in the locker room after, and he makes some good points. He says, you know, hey, they should have let me. He's like, if I get on that stool in between the 10th and 11th round, you know, in train, like you said, in training, I was coming back. Like, then, you know, Mayweather's going to have to deal with the fact he's been pummeling me for 2, 3, 4 rounds and start. I don't know if that part's true. I don't know if he didn't look tired.
I don't see anything coming good. I think if they let that go, he's getting knocked out.
Yeah, right. I agree with you. But I do think you got to let him. And, you know, Conor's very humble in defeat. He said he was going to go back to the drawing board, figure out this whole what to do if guys are going to jam him up. I wonder if this is a recipe now in MMA that might work. You know, it's get in his grill, you know, keep your guard up and just get in there and push him back. If that will work in a cage, I don't, you know, do you think that would work better or worse in a cage versus a ring with ropes? You think that?
Well, I think you just keep seeing this huge hole in his game plan. I mean, if you can get him into the 4th or 5th round in MMA, he's got a problem.
Yes.
You keep dragging him into deep water. So anybody that can out-gas tank him and survive the onslaught of the first couple rounds, he's going to have a huge problem.
Okay. So I'm thinking a GSP fight with Conor McGregor is in the future.
Oh, I don't want to see it.
No?
No. GSP's going to fight Bisping here, I think, in November at Madison Square Garden. But
it's supposed to.
I don't know, where does Conor go next? You know?
Another super fight. It's got to be.
To what?
Another super fight. I think him and Diaz should box.
No.
Yeah.
No way. Because, you know, to me, it's not impressive. I'm not impressed. Did he represent okay? Yes. But again, I think that's Floyd Mayweather letting him represent.
You think so? Because they were giving him props saying that this is the best anyone's ever fought Floyd. Like in
because
a long time.
Floyd came forward and did nothing in the first 3 rounds, of course. He needs to do more than that.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Well, in MMA, what's the only thing that would make sense to him is what? Jose Aldo rematch? Give it to him again? No?
Nate Diaz 3.
Oh, geez. At what weight?
That's what he wants, 155. You do it for the title.
Okay.
Fuck everybody else that wants to
be
in line. I mean, that's it. But again, if you just made $100 million for a boxing match, how can you come back to MMA and what can you be paid? I mean, if I'm him, you got to pay me at least $50 million, and I need some ownership.
Wow. You think MMA pay-per-view, they're going to go broke?
Well, I'll ask the question. How many pay-per-view buys does Conor's next fight do? And let's just say it's back in the UFC.
UFC pay-per-view? Well, I wonder if you get some boxing crossover. You might. You get some boxing fans that will come and watch this fight. I would say his next fight will pull 1.2 million.
That's it?
That's it.
I'm going 2 million.
You think?
Yeah, because he's done 1.6.
But that was against
a couple times.
Which one was that? Who was that against? Diaz?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Because I think all of his have been over 1 million.
If you get, you know, here's the thing: you get Mayweather involved in the promotion somehow, get his name involved, that would draw the boxing community in.
Have him fight in MMA and get his ass kicked. He'll never do it. There's no money. There's way not enough money for him to come over.
No way. He would never do that.
There's no gain for him.
None.
So, you got that. The other thing I want to talk about this fight is how about the judging? Because, you know, I clearly had the first 3 rounds for McGregor. I could argue round 4. The official judges' scorecards, only one of the judges had the first 3 rounds for McGregor, and then the other 2 only had 1 round for McGregor.
Wow.
What the fuck is this?
Well, you know, it's funny you say that because at some point in the second round, the commentators were saying like Floyd has only thrown like 6 punches or something. You know, he's not barely doing anything in the first couple rounds. He's just hanging out. So how do you give a guy a round when he's not even active?
You can't.
So.
And I wonder if this is just too that even no matter what the performance was, there's no way Conor could have won unless he knocked him out. And even the judges may have gave it to fucking Mayweather at that point, you know.
Doesn't count. He's not knocked out.
Illegal blow! It was a hammer fist. Yeah. He's fucking fine.
Maybe. I mean,
I feel like we had some of that. You have one judge who's
People's
good.
involved?
I don't know, but that's fucked up. You can't one round. I mean, I think that's why I stopped watching boxing in the first place, because of all the decisions that I saw where the guy clearly lost, and then they gifted him a fucking decision.
How was the undercard, man?
I can't watch boxing. I'm just like, it's just not as satisfying to me after watching MMA.
Was there anybody that was exciting or that was promoted in any way on the undercard?
No, and then like the fucking fight before was a title fight, but like one of the guys didn't weigh in, and I don't understand what the hell that was about. So they post the tail of the tape, and for his weight, it just says question marks, and somehow that's still a fucking title fight. So riddle me that shit.
Wait, then why do they weigh in?
Exactly. I don't know what is so shady.
I refuse to step on these scales.
And fucking guy comes out with like a blue fur Smurf hat on, and he's got like blue fur on the sides of his pants, and they're almost like capris because the pants are so long. The guy's got tassels on his feet. I don't know what the fuck we're watching.
What nationality was this guy?
African American.
Okay.
But
it sounds like something Hispanic thing.
But I mean, this is. Like, what are we doing here?
Blue Smurf?
What are we doing here?
That's weird.
Like, I'm not a boxing fan anymore.
Okay.
I need the full rule set is what I need.
Yeah. Well, like Conor said, I lost a match, not a fight.
Yeah.
So I agree with him. He did lose a match, not a fight.
True.
Yeah.
And did you see how the New York Times tweeted out what happened in this fight? They said, McGregor's face was completely bloodied. He was about to fall through the ropes, and the referee stopped the fight. A lot of people are jumping on that.
I didn't see that.
What fight are you watching? Because
that's not what I saw.
That was not what happened.
No. Yeah, no, that's not true. Tell him to go watch freaking Rory McDonald fight
Robbie Lawler.
Robbie Lawler. That is a bloody. That would warrant that comment. Yes, thank you. Your memory's impeccable. I got to get on some shit that Matt's on.
What?
Your memory's so good. My memory's fucked up.
It's getting better. I don't know.
Is it?
Could be a CBD.
You remember a lot of shit.
So here's some questions like after the fight. Okay, so are you impressed with Conor's performance?
I would say that I'm impressed that he stepped in the big arena like this. Was it a great technical boxing performance? No. Did he seem like he was ever going to put Mayweather in any trouble? No. So I'd say I'm not impressed with his overall performance, unfortunately.
I agree.
But I respect the man for stepping in there and giving it a shot. And making a shitload of money.
Yeah, and then everyone's making such a big deal of like, oh, he landed more punches than Pacquiao, and he was more accurate than Pacquiao, and all these other fighters. Again, it's because Mayweather's coming forward and not doing anything. He's just analyzing.
Yes. Could he be, here's a question for you.
Sure.
Do you think Floyd Mayweather, as much as I dislike him as a person, might be one of the smartest combat fighters in the sport, in all sports right now, given what he's been able to do over his career with a lot of these big names, and then now he finds a guy who's 20 pounds heavier than him, and fucking he basically clowned him, is what he did.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it didn't look like hard work for the man.
No,
I think that was his motto or whatever.
He's extremely smart in the fight, and even Conor said, like, you had 3 different you kept changing the game plan 3 times on me, like in the middle of the fight. I don't know what the hell was going on there.
Well, yeah, and it didn't seem like Conor had an answer, and Conor wasn't prepared for Mayweather just to put his hands up and walk him down the whole fight. Right. He said, I really only had one sparring partner that I had 6 rounds against that did that to me, and he was expecting a more defensive Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
So, kudos. I gotta give credit to Mayweather for fighting.
That's what I'm saying.
This was actually a fight for him, and he finished Conor.
Yeah, and he retires 50-0.
50-0, and he wins the whatever that belt was made out of emerald, gold, alligator skin.
You get a special belt for 50 wins, or what?
No, they made a special belt just for this match.
Okay. Nice.
Do you think this fight helps or hurts Conor's stock, and why?
I think it helps his stock by a lot. Like I said, I think it'll draw the boxing crowd over.
Did you get a little boxing cred then?
I think he does.
A little bit? Seemed like the announcers gave him some,
yeah, I think the boxing fans, now that Mayweather's gone, he's gonna naturally draw some Mayweather fans over to his brand because Mayweather's leaving the sport. So they'll probably check out at least one MMA fight or a UFC or something. And yeah, I think he's helped his stock. I think even losing wouldn't have hurt his stock. If he would have lost and got KO'd in this, I don't think it would have hurt him. I mean,
well, I mean, he lost, but
I'm talking like KO'd, like face first.
But he got flatlined.
Stuff.
No, I think he'd be fine.
I think it'd be okay.
Right.
Yeah, you know, I think it'd be okay. So I think.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, at the end of the day, was it a respectable performance? Yes.
Yes, it was.
I can leave it at that, but it just hypes him up a little bit more because you know he's gonna fall back on, well, it's a limited rule set, well, I was tired, and well, whatever. So they can kind of polish it off that way, and then come back to the MMA, come back to it.
Humble in defeat. I think.
No, I think that's always one of his greatest aspects, right? And it's nice to see both guys having the mutual respect for each other after the fight.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I gave it a shot, right? You beat my ass, it's cool, whatever.
Yes.
We both made a ton of money, and let's go
It's
on.
all good. Let's have some whiskey.
Yeah, I'm going to drink my McGregor brand whiskey into one of the other businesses I'm getting involved in.
We should get a bottle of it and just put
It's
it
probably $7,000 a bottle.
You think it's expensive?
Well, it's just like his suit collection with the
with
fuck
the
you suit, the pinstripes. I think the minimum price on those suits are $3,000.
I think that he's not a smart businessman. If he was smart, he'd make the whiskey cheaper.
McGregor?
Yeah, because people will buy that shit.
Well, people will buy the expensive shit.
But less people will buy it.
Well, it's high price, low volume. I'd rather do that because then you can always come down in price.
Good point.
Just mark it up 10,000%.
Let's check. Well, we'll go to Binny's and see. You got some of that Conor McGregor whiskey?
No, it's like locked in the vault. We have it, but you can't see it.
Yeah.
It's like the absinthe or whatever that shit was.
There you go.
Yeah. Fucking whatever that bullshit was. So I'm just trying to think. I'm looking back through the notes on this fight.
For me, I think that's about covered all of what I would want to talk about.
Oh, did you see Conor McGregor's baby in a suit? He had dressed his son up in a little suit.
Oh, wow. No, that's fucking cool, though. He looks like a little mobster.
Yeah, and then Vern Troyer tweeted out and said he would like to challenge said baby to a fight.
That's awesome.
I'd pay to see that.
Yeah, that's funny.
Probably put my money on McGregor baby.
Yeah, hell yeah. That's cute.
So
that's a man having a good time. Huh?
Yeah.
He's having fun.
But I mean, overall, I'm happy with the turnout. I kind of wish the undercard could have been more freak show. Like, I feel like there was a lost opportunity where you could have done a full-on just MMA boxing crossover because there were a ton of fighters. Like, Nate Diaz said he wanted to box.
Yeah. Like,
man, that would have been great. Let him come in.
Box some random dude?
Sure. I don't care about Miocic. I know he wanted to fucking box somebody, but that guy's got the personality of goddamn my wall. The personality of Shane Carwin, you know.
Yeah, but he's a firefighter, I think. Or
yeah, he's a firefighter.
Yeah.
Fucking worst heavyweight champion.
He
ever.
breaks down burning doors and wins belts, Matt.
He's not winning in
the personality or beauty contest.
Personality.
Yes.
I think that's all we have for said Mayweather-McGregor fight.
Nice. All right.
Moving right along.
In other news, Matt, let's talk about the other big story.
Yep. There's only really one.
While we're at it, Jon Jones this week, unfortunately, apparently his A sample comes up tainted with some weird substance.
T-ball or whatever.
Tyranobol, Turbol, whatever.
You had said a D-ball.
You said it was an old drug that people normally don't take anymore.
Yeah, I thought it was like the East Germans or.
Oh yeah, the Olympic team.
Olympics,
yeah. And that shit is orally taken and apparently very harsh on your body. So
will it make your dick shoot off into the crowd?
Maybe, just maybe.
Super hard, shoot into the crowd.
So his manager comes out saying that he doesn't think Jon Jones cheated. Jon Jones just actually today put out a post on Twitter saying, "Times like these remind me how blessed I truly am. So much to be grateful for." Very vague post. Apparently they're going to test his B sample. Do you think the B sample comes up positive or negative, and why?
Well, it's going to come up positive because if you pissed twice or whatever, you just split the sample, it's going to come up the same. But my problem with this whole thing is I don't know how many random tests the man passed up to this point. And now you're going to tell me that he failed the one test that he knew was when it was going to happen and where it was going to happen? And for some fucking crazy steroid that I don't think anybody's even using anymore?
Shall we give you a theory?
Well, it has to rhyme with Daniel Cormier.
You're not supposed to say Daniel Cormier and tainted Jon Jones supplements in the same sentence.
Hey,
but I will say, if there's one thing that makes sense to me, given how, and I don't know DC personally, obviously, but the way his persona is personified to me, his sour grapes attitude, all this whole thing, I would not say that it's a stretch to say that man did some sort of like Tanya Harding. See, there's my memory again. Damn it, I can't remember her name. Remember when when she bashed her leg? What the fuck is her name? Nancy Kerrigan, Tanya Harding shit? Yeah?
I was waiting for you to get it.
Thank you. So I wonder if this is one of those.
Well, what Towelgate, Ingo. Towelgate.
Towelgate? Huh? What if
he's a cheater?
What if there's video of DC tainting his piss and oh my God, talk about that would be great. That would probably kill the internet if they had video of DC tainting Jon Jones's.
Well, that's the thing that's curious because they haven't stripped Jon Jones of the title yet.
Not yet.
They haven't suspended Jon Jones. I don't know if they've pulled him from the rankings. They typically do that. But
he just got back.
He just got back on, and then they pull him back out.
Yeah.
Just when I think I'm back in, you go.
Yeah. I don't know. What you described to me makes sense that he all of a sudden now tests the fight, but
it just seems too fucking weird to.
It is weird.
For the weigh-in one, the one you know you're getting drug tested for. How are you going to fail that one when you've passed all the other ones leading up to it? I have a hard time believing that there's no funny business being involved here.
Yeah.
And even one of Jon Jones' teammates was saying there's some fucking monkey business going on here.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. But I don't know.
So let's just say this is true and he tests positive for that. This is going to be his second official test, even though the other one was like dick pills or whatever it was.
Isn't it 2 years, 4 years, lifetime? Wasn't that the original rule?
Yeah, and he got off light on the first one. He got like a year or some shit. This is number 2, and this specific steroid carries a 2-year, even if it was a first offense, but this is his second offense, so it should be a 4-year. Do we ever see Jon Jones fight in the UFC again?
No. And actually, we were sitting at Glory on Friday talking about, and Pete asked us, like, hey, you think Jon Jones would do okay here? I think it makes sense for him to probably go to a different sport or organization that can have events outside of the U.S.
Well, he has to. There's the tough thing is going to be that UFC contract, because if he gets a 4-year suspension and they tie up his contract, he may have to buy himself out of it or take the UFC to court. You got nothing but time at that point. You know.
What's his plan B? Go play football?
No, he's not proportionally built right. And he can't even play basketball. Fucking guy can't even dunk the basketball.
It's weird.
You know?
Because those chicken legs.
Yeah. So, like, he's got a specific set of skills that only translate to MMA. And grappling. Or he just goes and dominates the grappling circuit. You know, he's not going to make anywhere near as much money as he could.
No, but he could make a living off of it.
Yeah. But I think this one's going to stick. I think he's going to... Somehow I feel like he's going to get a lighter sentence. Like, there's half of me that says he's going to get a 3-year, and then there's another part of me that's going to say he's going to get another tainted supplement exemption. There's going to be some kind of therapeutic use exemption, because the problem is there's no Ronda Rousey. Conor McGregor more than likely is going to come back, but, you know, after Jon Jones, who's your star? Who's your next biggest pay-per-view draw?
GSP's coming back.
He's no draw. And we'll see that.
Michael Bisping.
We'll see that when that one happens. But I mean, I think it's the Chris Cyborg, the Diaz brothers if they fight. But you kind of need Jon to stick around.
I have a theory. I think the B sample comes back clean.
Well, that's how you could keep Jon to stick around, right?
And then they'd be like, something got messed up. He's all good.
Yeah.
Sorry. I think if you're smart, that's what happens.
They have to.
UFC, if you're smart, that's what happens.
Well, if the UFC was smart to get rid of fucking USADA already.
Yeah,
come on.
Stupid.
How many fights have we lost? And if this one sticks, you've just lost the best UFC or the best MMA fighter ever in the history of MMA.
Exactly.
Literally undefeated. You know.
Against him, but not against himself.
Right.
He defeats himself constantly.
All the time. So that's the problem. It's like, it's hard to say he didn't, and even if someone tainted it, his fucking track record has got so many strikes against him that it's like he's already super guilty, even if he was innocent.
That's right. Yes, sir.
stuff. Does God just hate Jon Jones?
He might, maybe because of the tattoo. No.
Thought he was a man of God.
Yeah,
Apparently
well,
not.
Steroids, not. I don't know. Got any other news?
Well, it's still Jon Jones related. And then Dana White was saying that they were going to do, or they were talking about doing, Jon Jones versus Stipe Miocic for the heavyweight title in Detroit.
Whoa.
And now this has thrown a whole monkey wrench into that. And that may be why they never booked Miocic for a fight. He's been sitting out a while now.
Interesting. It's a 2-belt champ. It might still happen. Plan B.
Maybe.
B sample will be clean.
We'll see. And then there was another Jon Jones on Twitter that's been getting bombarded. Every time the UFC Jon Jones fucks up, this guy just gets railed, and he put up a blog. You should check it out, of all the comments, because he just answers it like the normal Jon Jones. Like, like someone asked him, "Well, how do you sleep at night?" It's like very comfortably. Like, I've got a goose pillow and a down pillow, and
He's getting
very
into
nice bed. So he responds nice, and I think he was on ESPN, a bunch of other things, doing interviews, but it's just because I think he's at Jon Jones, and I forgot what the UFC fighter Jon Jones' Twitter is.
John Bones, maybe?
Yeah, something
John
like
Bones.
that. So it's funny. He's like, oh, I got another 7,000 tweets today. What did Jon Jones fuck up? And
Nice.
That's cool.
Should get some ad revenue out of that.
He should do something. Yeah, I think that's all I got. We can do a little Ask the Nuts.
Yes, please.
Carol West asks, out of all the current UFC champions, who do you guys think will lose their titles first, or lose their title first, besides Bisping?
Miocic.
Of course. It's 2 and done for UFC. Well, Jon Jones. He could lose his title.
You could.
Tomorrow!
He might.
Miocic is a good bet.
I'd say Miocic for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, if I gotta rank it, it just depends when his title fight is. Because I think Bisping still beats GSP. But I think he loses whatever the next fight is. Miocic loses his next fight just based on history. It's 2 and done for the heavyweight champ. Oh, who else is gonna lose?
Conor McGregor.
Well, Diaz is no cakewalk.
Nope. I think Diaz can beat him at 55 if that happens sooner than any other title fight. I think it's certainly possible he loses that belt.
Yeah. But that's the fight again. I said I could watch that fight 100 times. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like, that is such a good matchup. Those guys fucking hate each other. We might not be able to do press conferences, or we're gonna need to put them in a fucking bulletproof, like the Pope mobile.
There you go.
For each of the guys. You just fucking sit in here and you can't do anything to each other, right?
Nope.
And then Rodrigo Machado will close it out. It's time. # Nuts Roll, # Matt Rabe Train, # Ingo Sugar Daddy.
Yes.
Would you rather only be able to have sex with a woman with her on missionary position for the rest of your life, or only be able to have sex with a woman with her on doggy style position for the rest of your life?
I mean, it's a hard question. I don't know that I would care either way, honestly.
As long as I'm having sex.
Am I having a lot of sex? I'm good. Missionary, I guess. I don't know. Missionary's better. More intimate. Get the closeness, you know?
You could be a ranger. Which of these animals would you rather be able to control? Rank them from 1 to 4.
It's getting weird now.
From the one you want. From the one you want the least.
Talking about D&D style ranger.
Direwolf, bear, big eagle, tiger.
Direwolf #1 for sure.
Yeah.
Eagle, #2. Bear's like last. I'd say tiger was 3rd for me. Definitely direwolf first. Direwolf, tiger. It's like the same thing, except the direwolf's cooler.
Yeah, what he said only more. Would you rather fuck the top half of Kate Beckinsale on the bottom half of Jessica Alba, or the top half of Jessica Alba on the bottom half of Kate Beckinsale?
God, that's a hard question.
My brain's not working, so whatever he says,
I can see that. I'll take the bottom
nothing.
half of Jessica Alba. I think she got more booty. Kate Beckinsale, I think, is skinny as a rail, but she got a nice face. So, get a nice face with a big old booty.
That's what it's all about.
Perfect.
Fuck, Marry, Kill, Game of Thrones Edition 3.
Perfect.
We got Gilly. I should have brought this up on my phone, but whatever.
All good.
Oh, Jesus. Hang on. We got Gilly.
Oh, she's dirty.
No, but wait. I've got the undirty picture of her coming.
Yeah. No, I'm saying she's dirty looking.
Yeah, yeah.
She's pretty hot, actually. Yeah. She's always covered up.
You got Shae.
It's okay.
And then we've got Brienne.
Oh, jeez.
I want to climb that mountain.
You know, that is a big, big woman.
And she did that naked scene. Looked pretty nice.
Yeah, so it's like, but you might be in trouble. I mean,
you got to climb that mountain.
That's a lot of women.
I'm fucking Brienne.
I got to skip that.
I'm killing Shae. And I'm marrying Gilly.
Gilly's got a nice face. I'm going to marry the Shae. I like the brunettes. Okay. That's nice. But I'm gonna have to skip Brienne. That's too much.
That's too much woman for you? Come on.
It's too much woman man.
She might be 6'5". Come on.
There's like a woman man. There's a woman man barrier that I don't cross. It's like in between.
She's a little too manly.
She's slightly too manly for me. Yeah.
Well, I'm up for a challenge.
I know you like the cyborg. That's in your.
That's a big.
What
bitch.
about Brienne and the cyborg at the same time?
I just want cyborg. Cyborg's too much.
You might short circuit.
You got to make sure you do it proper.
What about if they're in? You know, you get to watch for a while.
If I have cyborg, I just want her by myself.
Well, okay.
Yeah, that's one woman that you need to make sure you're taking care of business.
Well, they can take care of each other for a while.
They can, but
then you jump in for a little bit and take a break and come back.
I don't want any distractions from cyborg.
Okay.
We got to do work.
All right. Fair enough.
Yeah, any knowledge for this week as we're at the tail end of the Game of Thrones?
Knowledge? Let me think. Not really. No. Anything come to mind?
No. Oh, I'm helping my mom move, and let me just tell you this: we got a lot of vintage shit that I'm running across, and it's unbelievable what some shit is worth. Like, I found an old receiver of my brother's, some Marantz one, it's like worth $150. Found a little Galaxian handheld. Well, it's not handheld, but it's like a mini, full-size arcade game, $150. Like, what the hell? I didn't realize that so much of this vintage stuff is worth a ton of money these days.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, I bet your mom's got some sweet shit, man. Like,
yeah. It's incredible. It's like the old receiver is more expensive than a brand new or semi-new Yamaha. They used to build shit
better back in the day. Now everything's
it still lasts. That's what's crazy.
China.
I plug all this shit in and it's still working like it was new.
Well, I think Marantz was like a English brand or something. Marantz is English or French, I forgot. But all the electronics back in the day were made better. Now everything's in China and it's got some freaking 4-year-old.
Well, it's what is that they call that when they're building it to break on purpose?
Yes, I forgot what the term is.
But you know what I'm saying.
I got no memory. Can't remember what I did 5 minutes ago.
Absolute. I don't know what it is.
Obsolescence.
Something. But you know what I'm saying. Back in the day, it was quality. You want to build something that's gonna last for fucking 30 years because it was the brand name, so that when that person buys again. But now, let's just make it last for 3 years, so they have to fucking buy something new. Mm-hmm. It's all about the profits. So.
Of course.
All right, that's all we got. Brienne out.
Been this week's edition of MMA Nuts. We'll be back next week. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Have a happy Labor Day. Don't get too crazy.
That's right.
Stay black.
Thanks for playing.